Hey guys, so today's video is mainly tea of things happening on the internet, so subscribe, hit that bell, like and comment for engagement. My social media will be in description so you can follow all of that, along with my beauty channel. So let's go with like an older story. Charli D'Amelio recently won a Kids' Choice Award and she was obviously given a lot of crap for it because people think she doesn't deserve it. Even if you don't think she's like the best influencer or the best content creator, the fact that she grew to 100 and something million in 1 year kind of makes her deserve the award in a way, because it's like no one else has done that really, basically just like beating records. So she won the Kids' Choice Award and she did a podcast episode where she spoke about the fact that she can't even seem to like enjoy winning the award because of how much hate she's getting over it. So she's just like, I can't even begin to enjoy it because it's like, ugh, like everyone hates me for it. It kind of reminds me of Billie Eilish, like obviously not on the same scale, but Billie Eilish can't seem to enjoy her awards because everyone says that she doesn't deserve them or that she's winning too many and she's taking awards away from other artists. And even if you believe that, I can tell now that she doesn't want to publicly enjoy or celebrate her awards because she feels bad about the fact that she's taking awards from other people. Charli also had like an anxiety attack on camera live, but people are still, you know, making fun of her or talking about why she's vaping or doing whatever it is that she's doing. But there's clearly some kind of an underlying issue there, and I'm assuming her parents know how to help her out. So I think a lot of the criticism does contribute to her anxiety attacks, and that's obviously kind of like the worst part of the internet, I guess. Then there's Nikita Dragun, who recently was posting like her before and after getting her makeup done, and first of all, it's heavily face tuned, so that's not fun. But two, like the after is heavily face tuned, but two, people are talking about her very quick change of skin tone, because if you look at her like scalp skin versus her actual like face skin, like with me you can't really tell the difference, like it's basically the same thing, but with her it's like white brown, which is not how it's supposed to be. So people obviously, you know, talking about that again, which is just like an ongoing issue with Nikita because she just can't seem to stop. So there was recently an article written by Insider about Fine Bros, which are the guys behind Kids React, Teens React, Elders React, so on and so forth. And there was an article that says female former employees say they faced sexism at Fine Brothers Entertainment, the YouTube giant behind the viral Kids React videos. Actually, during the Black Lives Matter movement, they were called out for basically treating their black employees worse or not giving as many opportunities to black creators over white creators, and now they're being called out for sexism as well, which is great. We can just add that to their checklist of awful stuff. Thanks, Fine Bros. Ruined my childhood for me because I used to love watching the React series. I started out when they just had Kids React, like they didn't even have Teens React, and now they have like a bunch of different things, and it's just sad. Then we have Ellen. Ellen DeGeneres was called out for a toxic environment, which was obviously awful to work at, with many other allegations behind the scenes, and she basically did nothing. She did like an apology stand-up comedy thing when she came back after the pandemic, and apparently since then she has lost 1 million viewers. So every time she obviously posts an episode, the viewership is lower than usual, which makes sense because not only did she mess up, she also then refused to properly apologize for it. She made it into a big haha hee hee, like look at this toxic work environment, haha. So I'm not surprised that there are less people watching her now, and maybe it brings a little bit of, you know, humble back into her. James Charles, we have him coming back to the internet and posting TikToks with Charli and Dixie, and a lot of that got a lot of hate. So he posted that TikTok and someone said, my screen is showing a lot of trash. He said, you must have your front camera open. And TikTok Room posted that, and the comments underneath said, I love him. He's a groomer. It's always trust the victim until the accusations are about your faves. He did something illegal, by the way. How does he still have a platform? That was a good comeback though. And then someone said, well. He also tweeted at a lot of famous people, and it kind of gets a little bit awkward sometimes. So Quackdy tweeted, oh my god, Twitter verified me. I think it's because I'm sick. And James said, well, it's certainly not because you're tall. And he just put a question mark, and I don't know if they're friends or if they're just like acquaintances, and I don't know if this is joking between them or if this is really awkward, but from a third person point of view, this seems really awkward. And people are telling him to like stop interacting with their faves, to stop talking to their favorite YouTubers, and basically just having a go at him over being friends with people that they don't want him to be friends with. Then we have a big thing. Okay, so I don't know if you guys remember, but a while back, a few months ago, James Charles tweeted out saying that it's official and YouTube had renewed Instant Influencer for season 2. Instant Influencer was a YouTube premium show that James Charles was presenting, which was basically finding the next beauty guru. And yeah, so we all thought he was going to get renewed for season 2, and he tweeted out saying, hey guys, we're renewed for season 2. YouTube then responded to that tweet and said, season 2, here we come, hashtag Instant Influencer, and put like a little clip of James Charles. So we're all thinking James Charles is going to present season 2 of Instant Influencer. Now we get a Variety article saying James Charles will not return for YouTube's Instant Influencer season 2. And then someone replied to Kat tweeting that out. Kat, the journalist for Insider, tweeted it out and said that's not how the show works. And Kat said they're completely redoing it. It won't be about beauty makeup, it will have a new category of influencers. So the rest of the article is: beauty vlogger James Charles will not be hosting a second season of YouTube's Instant Influencer reality competition show. A YouTube rep confirmed that Charles won't be returning to the show but declined to provide a reason. Previously, the video platform had announced that he would be hosting a second season. We can confirm season 2 of the YouTube original series Instant Influencer will take a new creative direction, including a new host. A YouTube spokesperson said in a statement to Variety, "We thank James for a great first season and look forward to building on the show's success by expanding the opportunity to showcase a diversity of creators across the YouTube platform in our upcoming season." And then they said YouTube's decision comes about a month after a TikTok user who claimed to be 16 claimed he was being by Charles. The accuser said Charles, 21, sent unsolicited photos via Snapchat and that Charles urged him to send selfies in return. In a statement, Charles said, "The accusation that I have this person is completely false." According to Charles, the individual initially claimed he was 18. After he admitted he was 16, Charles cut off all contact with the teen. "After false allegations like this in the past, I would never knowingly engage with someone underage and put my life on the line for a few Snapchats," Charles said. And then he talked about, obviously, season 1 of Instant Influencer and his Tati by sister controversy. This is pretty interesting because YouTube didn't speak out about the James situation. They didn't really do anything the way they usually do or the way they did with David and Shane. They kind of stayed quiet and James's career went about as normal. But now we're seeing a slight maybe reaction or response to the allegations. They don't want to be associated right now that closely with Instant Influencer and James. So they're kind of like redoing it, doing it with a different host so they don't have to like do too much explaining. But another thing is people found an Instagram account followed by James Charles called Good and Fresh, and it says Good and Fresh podcast coming soon, followed by James Charles, and it has a picture of James and someone else in a studio. So this came out, this Instagram page was created pretty much right before the Variety article dropped. So I'm assuming the Variety article dropped, YouTube made the comment, YouTube and James had a conversation about it, and James decided to maybe do the podcast, pretend that he has something to be busy with that means he can't do Instant Influencer. Maybe like YouTube said, "Oh, we're not going to say the real reason for why we're not having you as the host and you can explain that yourself if you want." And maybe he's like, "Oh, I'm going to have a podcast and I can't do Instant Influencer." That's a conspiracy theory many people have on Twitter right now. I don't know how much I don't know how I think this is going behind the scenes. We never really know. The thing is, I was going to say maybe he was never supposed to be the host, but from the tweets, it seems like he was supposed to be the host of season 2. I don't know, this is really strange. Anyway, and then a smaller creator who has like a clothing brand called Denzel posted a tweet saying, "Okay, so not that James Charles sliding in my DMs trying to make a bag of me. Don't worry guys, I called him out, literally caught in 4K." And he shows that he was also blocked by James. So he shows a screenshot of James messaging him saying, "My team and I are trying to reach out to you. We're wondering if you'd be interested in working on some new sister apparel. I absolutely love your merchandise, what you do and what it stands for." And then, he sends like the merch that he likes. Denzel responds, "Yeah, bro, I got you." And then sends him a prison like uniform thing with sisters all over it and says, "I don't work with people." And then apparently he was blocked by James. Now, James since then has said that this is a lie and that he's kind of upset that news articles and drama channels are saying it as if it's fact without any proof or evidence or anything like that. So he's basically just like, "I don't appreciate that everyone's saying this as if it's like a real story because it's not. This isn't true." And he says that he was blocked by Denzel and not the other way around, so he can't message him. So he's basically saying that all of these DMs and the blocking is all faked by Denzel for some likes and retweets on Twitter. Can't confirm and or deny, but people are laughing at him right now. I guess because David was punished but James wasn't, they're trying to now go back to James and give that attention again. So anytime he posts with someone or posts doing something, they obviously bring up the situation, and I'm assuming James is getting a little bit off. But it's funny to me that he acknowledged the merch brand thing, but he didn't acknowledge the Instant Influencer, like the fact that he hasn't tweeted out about it to just say like, "Hey guys, yeah, I can't do Instant Influencer, I'm doing a podcast, I'm really busy right now." He just hasn't addressed it at all, but he addressed this little like accusation, allegation, tweet, joke thing. So it's really strange to me what he chose to respond to and what he chose to not respond to. Yesterday I actually spoke about Mike from Impulsive, like Logan Paul's friend Mike, and how he was on the Mum's Basement podcast and he messed up with Logan Paul. He basically was like talking badly about his friend. But I actually didn't watch the rest of the podcast, and the worst part is that wasn't even the worst part of the podcast. Him and Face Banks were saying how basically Hannah's allegations against Dom and David could be false, how it's basically like, why is she anonymous, who is this Hannah girl, like that's the stuff that they were saying. So not only did he backtalk his friend and someone who gave him a career on a podcast he's also now discrediting something that there is actual evidence for. Like, there is evidence that this video happened. There is evidence that she was drunk. There is evidence that David took the video down and that she sent the message. And they're just on the podcast going, oh, who's even this Hannah girl? Like, who's Hannah? Like, they sound so ignorant, so uneducated. And I know Mike has been for a lot of people, but I just don't think this was a good move. I think if I was him, I'd just get them to delete the episode because it's just a bad look as a whole. Anyway, that is it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, comment down below anything you want to comment down below, and subscribe to post videos every time something happens. Hit that bell if you know when that's happening. Social media links, any other links in the description. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.